barely does not hang on to the ledge long enough, and that's going to be the uppy into the down air. That's going to be the stock. Oh, just finds a nair, combos into the forward air. That's just going to be the stock. Plup loves his spiking forward airs from the Olympia to the Maple. Like, it's just so scary, dude. And to be clear, because I don't want to disparage the Orcane, he also did win a game with the Orcane in Grand Finals. So, you know, it's not just, okay, well, he, you know, the Orcane was bad. Like, no, he won a game in Grand Finals versus literally the person that got second at this tournament and had a crazy losers run. Gets the wrap there, up tilt into the nair. DI's out, does Cake Assault, but that's just going to be a harder to recover position. Look at that, no smoke, and that's going to be the stock. That is the game one. Dude, Plup just took the stock literally from nowhere because he got like one wrap. He got one tech chase with the down strong, and then it's just like, oh, that's the stock because you're just going to get edge guarded, which is just insane. Like, F-tilt sends at such a nasty angle. It's so crazy. I know this stage is named, this is Air Armada because that was my favorite stage in Rivals 1. Up throw, nothing. Again, Forsburn doesn't really have super good combo throws at 0, so that is going to be a benefit of shielding at low percent, which Plup obviously knows. Already marked as well, and the mark does not go away until you do one of the strong attacks either on hit or on shield, or like you tether to them. So okay, the dash attack not going to work out. Back air nair, tried to get the strong C, the wrap went away because of the shielded down strong. Side B is going to re-wrap, down air for Cake Assault. He's trying to make it count, gets the up air there, not going to hit the up air there rather. Plup able to down B at a disadvantage. Gonna be fine. Maple's recovery is really good, especially when it's wrapped. Of course, that is punishable, but those double jump aerials are crazy. And mix up with the tether as well. He didn't need to do that. Beautiful find by Cake Assault with the turnaround down tilt on the forward strong that was sending too far in. Gets the dash attack, up air. Wow, I've never seen up air purple spark before, I don't think. Or purple screen, I don't know what it... kill spark, purple screen, same thing. They're gonna send back off stage. Plup with the deficit for the first time this set. F tilt, F tilt. Almost getting the forwarder, having to burn air dodge, and then tries to go to ledge to beat Plup out and take his own stock, but that is going to be evening up the game. Crouch cancels the downer as well. That downer is so crazy. It is a move, for those of you that don't know, it's a move that comes out of the floor. So that's Maple's down air that hit on the floor, which is so insane, but beautiful crouch cancel by Cake to get a punish, but not going to be a big enough punish for it to really matter. Up throw, up air. With the micro dash, dude, Plup's movement is so good. Honestly, something that's very interesting is I almost never see Plup go for hitfalls. He kind of only hitfalls up airs for the most part. He basically never does it, at least on Maple. I don't know if that's like a Maple specific thing, but you know, one of the things about Rivals 1 that's like really crazy is like how technical and advanced it is to do like repetitive combos, and Plup just kind of doesn't do them. Like, not that he doesn't do the combos, but he doesn't do, gets the up tilt into the wrap, or sorry, the tether into forward air. Nice stuff there by Plup, keeping the advantage, and another edge hog. But yeah, he just never like hit falls with this character, which is really interesting. Lots of down tilts. And side B's through, not trying to get hit by that back air. He also doesn't really camp too much with this character. Like, obviously the speed, he's going to like camp a little bit or like, you know, play neutral like a little bit defensively, but it's not like he's using a bunch of neutral Bs to like slowly tack on percent, which I see a lot of other Maples doing. He's keeping himself available for just like dash up F tilts and stuff like that, like basically all the time. I say that and he's used like 3 of the neutral Bs to tack on a little percent, but he normally doesn't do that. He hasn't done that at all. Dash attack gonna be the tech chase, doesn't get the grab. Plup trying to keep this advantage position. He's doing a good job of it. Forward are going to beat the tech chase yet again. Double F tilt. And this edge guard is so rough. Gets the hit. Down airs through, so it actually gets rid of the... Oh my god, he got a wrap there? I cannot believe that nair hit. And that the fact that that down strong hit is honestly insane. But the down air going to blow up when Forsburn gets hit. He gets hit by that down air. Wasn't ready to crouch cancel it. Maybe, I guess, did crouch cancel it, but it just hit. The fact that that down strong hit is honestly insane, but the down air going to blow up when Forsburn gets hit. He gets hit by that down air, wasn't ready to, and gets this up air, weak nair, down strong, just gonna spike him. That is going to be the game. You are not making it back on Air Armada, which is honestly, like, it makes sense that he goes here because he's trying to limit the recovery of Plup, but at the same time, Forsburn's recovery is exploitable, so he's just limiting the recovery of himself too. You're gonna run it back to PS2 or Small Battlefield, whichever one you want to call it. Okay, Cake. Nice opening, gets the hitfall on that forward air on platform to get a little more damage, but at the same time, Plup's again, his DI is so good, it's really hard to do anything meaningful. Nice crouch cancel there, so he just slides off and grabs the ledge, but still 60% lead for Cake is really good, gets the tech chase as well. That up throw sucks. Crouch cancels the up tilt. Still going to be damage for Plup. Still more tech chase. Up air hit falls. Up air hit falls. Nair going to attack on the damage. Side Beast to kill the clone, so the recovery becomes a little bit more exploitable. Up throw into up tilt into forward air. Tried to grab the ledge there, I'm pretty sure, but messes it up. And then air one not going to work. That's going to have a tether ability to that little plant when you do that special neutral get, or the special get up there, but still not going to deter Cake from taking the stock. Trying to bring this set back, knowing that it's definitely possible. I mean, Cake is a fantastic player. Of course, one of the best players otherwise. I don't know the official ranking, so I don't know if he would be #1 excluding Plup. Forward strong into up tilt. Nair drag back in the Forest Burn special. To add a shield from Plup, mashing with these F tilts. There's not really a good answer that Forest Burn has for it, like as a punish. F tilt, could have actually been a wrap confirm, but not going to get it. There's the wrap confirm. Nair into fair is going to be so rough. Gets that spike, but 103% on Plup is pretty good. Maple, I think the lightest character in the game, or at the very least one of the lightest characters. So that's going to be pretty easy to get a kill if Cake is able to find that hit. But again, Cake finds it difficult to hit Plup at all, just because Plup is just so hard to hit. He's so evasive. Maple is so fast, gets a backer. That's not going to be the stock. Like, Plup's timings for just like going in are just so perfect. Gets a nair, nothing more, and Plup is able to make it back into neutral. Forward air, gonna force a tech chase. Crouch cancels that. Full air hugs, it's crouch canceling, I don't care, it's the same thing. Up throw. Fair, not gonna connect, so it's not gonna be the stock. A little bit too high percent. And getting a tech chase with the down strong. What a crazy way to get that. Try to also forward air, knowing that the side B was coming out, but he was just very slightly off. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this. Oh yeah, he just couldn't recover. He couldn't even make it to the wall jump. That is unfortunate. So the double up B, the up B into smoke, up B to the ledge, not going to make it back, and suddenly Plup has a lead. He got hit like twice that entire stock. Parries the Lily, so he does have some invincibility, but Plup not caring. Not going to be a kill either. Back throw. This could be bad for Cake Assault. Shield drop not going to work out there. Up air, a little bit too multi-hitty. Is this the stock? If he gets a nair, that might straight up be the stock. No, okay, so Plup not able to get the kill there. Finally gets a down throw into the down strong. Cake Assault able to take the stock. That was such a prolonged stock just because it's so hard to hit Plup. Gets the nair there. I thought he was going to go for up air. Tech chase, misses it. Lots of floor hugs, shields the up tilt, and that's of course going to be punishable. This is going to be a punish. Nair, great floor hug into the parry. Okay, finally a parry. Sorry, into the hit. My bad. Up airs. Good position, but no double jump. That side B does get Plup out of the situation, and okay, the Nair misses. He is like one hit away from winning. I don't think he has a double jump. F tilt, trying to side B the double jump, but not going to hit it. Has to tech. The up tilt missing, but again, F tilt has no answer, so Plup is able to just throw out basically kill moves and just assume that Cake is not going to get it. I don't think he makes this back. Oh no, is able to make another clone. Nair going to make it back to ledge here. Misses. That was unfortunate. If you try to re-grab the ledge without using a special move, you don't have invincibility, so he does just kind of panic here with no invincibility, tries to air dodge, but doesn't air dodge on stage, misses the ledge dash, and then F tilt does combo into the Nair. So unfortunate for Cake Assault there, but that is a 3-0 where he advances to Grand Finals, where again, he just 3-1 Stango, who went on a crazy loser's run at this tournament. Honestly, the second most impressive run, other than Plup. Again, went to Genesis, and then Evo, won them both, and then they just disappears into the night. He's not going to Supernova. Plup, one of my favorite platform fighter players overall, and winning an Evo is a big deal. Not that many people can say they are Evo champions, probably like 100 overall, and being the first Rivals 2 Evo champion, again, in a incredibly dominant fashion. Insane.
I'm building something huge. Well, a while ago I invented this mechanical fractal, but what happens if I stick a bunch of them together? So I did some tests to see if the mechanics would work out, and started building my first prototype, but the final build isn't quite smooth enough yet.
Celebrities do these hand gestures not to show they're in the Illuminati, not to show they're in some satanic cult, and definitely not to show that they're against God. This symbol has a deep, powerful meaning that can give you power and help you grow, okay? The gesture of covering one eye with the hand is seen everywhere in the music industry, okay? The uncovered eye represents the physical eye, which perceives the external material world of the light of the day. This is the eye that interacts with the tangible, visible aspects of reality, the world we navigate through our five senses. But the hidden eye covered by the hand is in darkness, okay? So you have one eye in the light, one eye in darkness. This represents the inner eye, also known what we call today the third eye. But this is simply just the eye of consciousness. This is the eye that allows you to see the screen in your mind, to vision a red apple, to vision a monkey in a tree. The imagination is the spirit realm. They want you to think the spirit realm is something outside you or something that you go to after death. You are already in the spiritual realm. You are an individual. You have a dual nature, physical and spiritual. The spiritual world is simply the world and the self inside the mind. The world in the mind is eternal and spiritual. The world out the mind, this material body, is going to die and it's material, okay? So when they do this gesture, it is simply showing that they are aware of their dual nature. They're aware of the inner world and the outer world. It is the inner world producing and molding the outer world, okay? It means they're aware of their consciousness. The imagination is the vision you use when you die and when you dream. You return back to this internal world every single night you go to sleep. When you wake up, you express into the external world. This is the breath of the universe, just like you breathe in and out. This is the exact same pattern. But this is simply just the eye of consciousness. This is the eye that allows you to see the screen in your mind, to vision a red apple, to vision a monkey in a tree. The imagination is the spirit realm. They want you to think the spirit realm is something outside you or something that you go to after death. You are already in the spiritual realm. You are an individual. You have a dual nature, physical and spiritual. The spiritual world is simply the world and the self inside the mind. The world in the mind is eternal and spiritual. The world out the mind, this material body, is going to die and it's material, okay? So when they do this gesture, it is simply showing that they are aware of their dual nature. They're aware of the inner world and the outer world. It is the inner world producing and molding the outer world, okay? It means they're aware of their consciousness. The imagination is the vision you use when you die and when you dream. You return back to this internal world every single night you go to sleep. When you wake up, you express into the external world. This is the breath of the universe, just like you breathe in and out. This is the exact same pattern.
Tribulation, simply waiting for all the events to start popping off. We've been watching this for many years. It's becoming blatantly obvious what time we're in and what's about to happen. We're also living at a time where the ancient gods are making their reemergence or their reappearance. Ancient gods with a little g. I've shown you evidence of that in other videos also. I'm going to show you this in these days. And as we know, the enemy works in shadows. The enemy works in darkness. The beast and his minions, they are never upfront or transparent. They hide in shadows. They work in shadows. They work in darkness. They put the truth out, but it's always in a puzzle, right? It's like it's never right out in the open or transparent. So we go to sources like this. This is iPetGoat 2, which is an amazing spiritual storyboard. Lots of predictive programming in here, lots of things that are going to happen. You can find in here and things that have already happened. But even right here, watch where George Bush points. And even right here, it reveals what's coming from man in the final age. So we see the George Bush character here pointing upwards, but look at what he's pointing at. It's evolution. Of course, it's not with a biblical timeline. It starts off with a fish and goes into maybe a monkey, whatever, right? And turns into man. Then it shows man, and he's approaching a monolith. Now, it starts to make sense why we're seeing all those monoliths popping up over the last couple years. And I've even said myself, I believe the monolith is a sign of great change. And the monoliths have come at the end of the fourth age as we're watching everything we once knew as normal and real change and slowly fade away. And we're watching this final system being built before our very eyes. Once again, the IoT, the IOB, Internet of Things, Internet of Bodies, where everybody will be connected to the internet, right? Everybody. And most likely an AI god of some sort. But as you can see right here, the evolution chart, you see the man walking towards the monolith, and on the other side of the monolith, he's enlightened, right? He's enlightened, which it's interesting. It's even an 8-pointed star, a star of Lucifer around his head, but that's supposed to be the enlightenment. So that'll be the Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies. And we watch humanity going through the monolith, which is the end of the fourth age, right? And then we're into the fifth age, the final age of man, where it's going to be all about control, right? All about control and enslavement. Here's another interesting example. I mean, there's the obvious stuff, like the checkerboard floor, but look over to the left of the screen and you'll see the deer. You see the deer over there on the wall to the left of the screen. So as I said, I've broken parts of this down throughout the years. I've shown you other things, but I just want to show you these couple things here because I think they're really interesting. But you see the deer, and what would the deer have to do with end times? What does that mean? What's that symbol for? And I think we got our answer. Leave the World Behind is a movie that was produced just a few years ago by Barack Hussein Obama's production company. And this was a movie that was just filled with predictive programming. A lot of things that are coming for America. So I did a breakdown on it. I know other people have done a breakdown on it, and it deserves that. It needs that because there's a lot hidden within this movie. And like I was saying, that's how our enemy works. The beast hides in the shadows, right, and puts everything in code and secret. But this movie was just filled with interesting messages and symbols. What's with the creepy deer and leave the world behind? So you might remember that portion of the movie. Throughout the movie, this little girl keeps having strange interactions with deer that aren't afraid of humans at all. They come right up to them. Tons of deer. So there's a whole thing going on there, a whole metaphor. I've seen a lot of people try to break that down. But I do find it interesting that we find the deer in iPet Goat 2, which is filled with end times predictive programming. We find the deer also in Leave the World Behind, the creepy deer in Leave the World Behind. In the movie Leave the World Behind, we can actually find another example, an interesting example of that return of the gods, the way the little gods are making an appearance here in our lives in these days. And you can find it right here. If you look at the movie poster for Leave the World Behind, you see where they've hidden Baal, B-A-A-L, right? The little god. They've hid Baal in there. And like I said, this is just one of many, many things happening inside of this movie. If you haven't seen it and you understand predictive programming and whatnot, I highly suggest you check it out. There's a whole lot going on inside this film. But even moving beyond the little gods and finding the little gods and Leave the World Behind, we also have the deer. Mysteriously, over the last year or so, people have been posting videos on this. Large groups of deer are showing up in neighborhoods, which is very strange because they're typically, a little shaky around people. Deer are usually steer clear of human beings, but in this case, in mass, as you can see, they're showing up in neighborhoods now. So I found that very interesting as well. And in this story here, we find the ancient god Molech associated with artificial intelligence, of course. ChatGPT is providing instructions for harming oneself, taking lives, and also for worshiping the devil. A chilling investigation by The Atlantic revealed that OpenAI's ChatGPT, under specific prompts, provided users with detailed instructions on harming oneself